Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel As Per Life Science. In this video, we will study about the sample preparation for electron microscopy. Okay. In compound microscope, the sample preparation is very easy. We just take a section, then we stain it with some chemicals, then we mount it between slide and cover slip, and we adjust it on a compound microscope. But in electron microscopy, the sample preparation is quite difficult. Okay, it's a long procedure which we have to follow before we prepare a sample. Why exactly, we will see in this video, and what is the procedure, that we will also see in this video. Okay, so the electron microscope run under a high vacuum system. Okay, as we have seen earlier video that it is run in a high vacuum system. Vacuum conditions are not suitable for our biological specimen like cells or tissues. Okay, the specimen is struck by an electron beam, so that specimen will get damaged. So we have to cover the specimen with some chemicals, okay, so that it will not get damaged and the electrons can penetrate through it. Okay, for that we have to prepare that sample with some chemicals, or we use a particular method to prepare this sample. Okay, so what exactly the requirement of our sample is that it should be resistant in the vacuum. The sample should be resistant in the vacuum. Then it should be electron beam resistant. Okay, this is very important point. What it should be? Electron beam resistant, so that it cannot get damaged, that it can provide a contrast, and last one, it is penetrable for electrons for transmission electron microscopy. Okay, in scanning electron microscope, see, suppose this is our specimen. In scanning electron microscope, the electrons will scan this upper surface. Okay, this is. But in transmission electron microscope, the electron should transmit through this biological sample. So it should be penetrable for electrons for transmission electron microscopy. So these are some conditions which have to fulfill by the specimen. So what we exactly do, that biological specimens are unable to fulfill these requirements. So typically the sample is converted to a solid state. What we exactly do, we convert this sample to a solid state to make it suitable for vacuum and resistant to the electron beam. Once it get converted to solid state, then it is not damaged by this electron beam. Okay, the specimen is cut to very thin, like 100 nanometer for transmission electron microscopy. What we have to do, we have to cut it very thin section, like 100 nanometer. Okay, so that the electrons will get transmitted. Okay, in the electron microscope, the temperature goes up to 150 to 100 degrees Celsius, and at this temperature our biological specimen will get damaged. For this reason, we have to fix it and convert it into a solid state. Okay, therefore sample preparation for electron microscopy is very important. Okay, so biological material is made up of CHO and Sp, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, which do not interact with electrons. This is very important point. These elements do not interact with electrons. So what we have to do, we have to stain it or contrast enhancement with a heavy metal to form an image. See, biological material directly do not interact with electrons. Okay, because of these elements do not interact with electrons. So what we have to do, we have to give a treatment of heavy metal so that it can form a sharp image. All right. So how exactly we prepare sample for our transmission electron microscopy, that we will study. These are some procedures which we have to follow while preparing a sample. First one is a fixation, okay, then dehydration, then embedding, thin sectioning, staining, and last one is TEM, that is transmission electron microscopy. We can do all this procedure in two conditions. First one is a classical preparation, which is done at room temperature, RT, that is room temperature, and the another one is cryo preparation, which is occur at -100 to -200 degrees Celsius. Okay, which is done by using liquid nitrogen. Okay, we will study both the procedures. So let's start with actual topic. So first one is fixation. So the classical preparation is performed at the room temperature, which we saw just now. During the fixation, this first process is what? Fixation. The native biological sample is chemically stabilized with a chemical fixatives like glutaraldehyde, very important chemical, glutaraldehyde, and osmium tetroxide. These two chemicals are very, very important. So what we exactly do, suppose we take a live tissue or a live cell. In this there are various physiological processes, biological processes are going on. What we have to do, we have to arrest those processes, arrest those cycle, so that we can get a better image. Okay, so all biological processes are arrested during fixation, and these two chemicals are fixative agent which we will use in sample preparation for electron microscopy. ग्लूटाराल्डिहाइड एंड ऑस्मियम टेट्रोक्साइड, दोनों केमिकल्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, नाम याद रखना. ओके, नेक्स्ट वन इज the fixed specimen is ready for dehydration. Okay, the second process is dehydration. We will remove the water. Okay, so with a sequence of a different ethanol concentration. So how exactly we remove the water from our specimen? That we will give the treatment of ethanol, that is alcohol. Okay, until it completely dehydrated. Ethanol or alcohol, it act as a dehydrating agent. It will remove all the water from the specimen. Okay, ethanol is exchanged with a monomer solution of a plastic formulation. Okay, after dehydration, what we'll do, we'll apply this epon or araldite. Okay, these two are actually plastics. Okay, see what we have to do. See, this is our biological sample. Okay, first what we do, we add some fixative agents, due to which biological process will get arrested. After that, what we'll do, we will dehydrate this particular specimen, will remove all the water from this, then we will add a plastic coating on it. It's like plastic coating, so that it can get resistant to the electron beams. Electron beam can damage a biological specimen, so that we have to add a plastic coating on it, so that it can become a electron beam resistant. Okay, and for plastic formulation, what we exactly use, epon or araldite. Okay, so we will apply this monomer of epon or araldite, that is plastic, and it can get polymerized, or the monomers are then polymerized by heat or UV light. Okay, we will give heat treatment or UV light treatment to polymerize that monomers, and it will get hard. See, first that epon is in semi-solid state. Okay, kind of liquid state, and after the heat treatment, it will get converted to a solid state. It becomes hard. Okay, and provide a hard plastic block containing the embedded specimen. Okay, it will become hard, so that it can become electron beam resistant. This enables the cutting of a thin section, almost 100 nanometer, in a ultra microtome. Okay, so once it get solidify, we can cut it with the help of ultra microtome. Okay, the sections are stained with a uranyl acetate. These two stains are very important, uranyl acetate and lead citrate. These two stains we use for our electron microscope, uranyl acetate and lead citrate. Okay, uranium and lead ions selectively bind to the lipids, proteins and nucleic acid in the specimen. Okay, so this lead acetate or uranium will bind to a lipids, proteins and a nucleic acid in the specimen. Okay, and it will form a very sharp image, okay, of this lipid, proteins and nucleic acids. Okay, so this is the staining of electron sample preparation. These two stains are very important. While performing this sample preparation, there are various problems. Okay, a lot of artifacts during sample preparation for transmission electron microscopy. The first one, the fixation with chemicals is slow. Okay, when we add those chemicals like ethanol or epon, the fixation that fixative agents, these chemicals, they takes few seconds to minutes for that for arresting those biological process, and the specimen has enough time to react to the chemical attack and undergoes changes. Okay, the specimen will react to those fixating agents and it can undergo some changes which we do not want. Okay, the whole preparation procedure is conducted at a room temperature. Okay, leading to extraction and shrinkage of material during dehydration and embedding. Okay, at room temperature obviously it will get shrink. Any biological sample, if you keep it at room temperature, it will get shrink. Okay, so this is another problem for sample preparation. The next problem is, so to overcome these problems, what we do, we perform this method at a negative temperature, that is -100 or -200 degrees Celsius. The cryopreservation methods, preparation methods, were introduced and developed in order to prevent or reduce these artifacts. Okay, to minimize this problem, what we will do, we will perform all these techniques at a -200 degrees Celsius. Okay, the specimen is generally frozen without chemical treatment, purely physical process, that is cryofixed. We will use liquid nitrogen here. Okay, so this is pure physical process. Freezing is a challenging process because of the nature of the water to form ice crystals during freezing. Okay, the water which is present inside our specimen, it will form ice crystals. Okay, then ice crystals segregation distort and damage the ultrastructure. Okay, these ice crystals will damage our specimen. Okay, so what we do, we perform a high pressure freezing which was developed to prevent ice crystal formation. Okay, what we can do, we can perform a high pressure freezing. We freeze with a high pressure on it. So formation by changing the physical properties of the water at 2100 bar just before freezing. Okay, so this is the process which we have to follow while we perform a cryofixation. Okay, once the specimen is frozen, it is dehydrated with the help of again ethanol and fixed with a chemical fixatives simultaneously at a very low temperature, that is -90 degrees Celsius. Okay, because this is cryopreservation, preparation in a process called as freeze substitution. Okay, see, first what we'll do, we will put our specimen in liquid nitrogen, then it is dehydrated with alcohol and we will apply some chemical fixatives to stop all the biological procedures, all the physiological procedures inside the cell or our tissue sample. Okay, the embedding in the plastic, then all the procedure will be same. Plastic will use epon or araldite. Sectioning, staining of the specimen with uranium or lead citrate is typically performed the same way as during classical preparation. Okay, so see, for both the processes at room temperature and cryofixation, the only difference is we will convert our specimen, we will put our specimen into liquid nitrogen to avoid all these problems, okay, which were occur at the room temperature or classic preparation. Okay, so this is the sample preparation for our transmission electron microscope. I hope all points are clear. If you have any doubts and difficulties, you can ask me in the comment section. So we'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye and take care.